Good afternoon. Welcome to Songbird Homestead. I'm Kimberly. I'm backyard homesteader on just about 3/4 of an acre up in the town of Northeast Maryland. That is Zone 7B if that's something that you're keeping track of and that matters to you. Of course, it does make a difference, but we're a couple of weeks into spring here, and it's pretty much a good time to go through and just take a look at everything that has to be done. We've been pretty busy. We came out of a long cold winter as always. We have a very long list of things we need to accomplish. So today I figured we'd just do a little garden tour and look at those things. We did move here in the middle of the summer last year, and we got a lot done in the beginning. I'd say we were moderately successful. Well, we were 100% successful, but we got some of the things done that we needed to do. Of course, you can't ever get everything done, right? So some stuff has to fall by the wayside. So now that spring is here, we're jumping back, picking up where we left off. A couple big projects we have to do. So I'm pretty excited about the upcoming season. And like I said, we've been pretty busy getting started with all of that. So I just wanted to do a little garden tour, show you all around, talk about some of the things that we have going on, some of the things we are going to have going on, and some upcoming things that we're pretty excited about. So, all right, let's go take a look. Okay, so one of the first things I want to show you is my perennial herb bed. This is just a bed that I put in. One of the first things that I really did when we moved here, I put one in at my old place in, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago, and then the next year I redid it. Last year it was great, but then we moved. So the first thing I did when I came here, we put this guy in, and it has been so beneficial. I do a lot of from scratch cooking, and herbs definitely are helpful with that. Some of the herbs that I grow are oregano, thyme, basil, dill, oh goodness, cilantro, sage. I also do chamomile and lavender, and not all of them overwintered, but most of them, some of them, of course, cilantro and basil, of course, will not. My echinacea, my coneflower, that's in a different spot, but most of these did pretty well. Of course, mint, as you see, that's this guy right here, that will come back. That's pretty solid. Now, let's see, for our winters, I guess we have times that we're in the teens. We have a lot of freezing temperatures. We do get snow here, not a lot, but we had a little more snow this year. But most of my stuff, even though it gets pretty cold here, it does pretty well. So I definitely recommend, if you use a lot of herbs, this is one of the easier things to do. Let's see. This is my oregano. And that guy, that's pretty, it's probably like 10 inches across, maybe 8 or so inches high. That's completely ready to use. And it smells amazing. Fresh herbs, just the smell, it's incredible. My mint, of course. These are my chives, which, hello. And then my chamomile. You'll see I had a lot of chamomile that self-sprouted last year. That's my lemon balm. I'm sure that's dead, but that's okay. And again, more chamomile, my sage, yeah, more chamomile, and then my lavender and my rosemary, which kind of look kind of raggy, but I think they're going to be okay. I have to cut those back. Now, this is my thyme, and what I'm going to show you is what I do on days that we have that are really frosty. This is a cloche. I got this from the dollar store. You can use a milk jug, you can use, anything like that. And it really does help to keep the frost off of it. Now, my thyme didn't do so well. You can see I did plant some thyme seeds. They are coming up right there. But I'll probably truthfully go and buy a full-size plant, just because of the amount of time that I use while I'm cooking. I need more than that. And by the time my seeds get to be bigger or big enough, that's going to be a while. So for $5, if I can go and buy one, that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, this is my herb garden. Like I said, use it quite a bit. Now, not shown, of course, is my cilantro, my basil, my dill, that kind of stuff. I did start that from seed. It's in the house. And also, in addition to that, something that I do is I interplant my herbs in my raised beds throughout the year, because I feel like you can never have enough herbs. But that's my herb bed. Okay, so the next bed that I want to show you, this is my garlic bed. I have a little over 90 heads planted here. I have two varieties. I have a German hardneck garlic that I started at my old place that we harvested last year before the move, and then I used the cloves from those to replant what I have here. And then the second variety, it's a Spanish Roja garlic, which is supposed to be a little, not really hot, but has a little more of that type of flavor to it. So I'm pretty excited to try that. Hopefully, I'm guessing that should be plenty of heads. Now, last year I only had like 30 or 40 heads that we had. So of course we ran out. I tried to save it and budget it out so we had enough, but yeah, it just didn't work. So I planted more, but I feel like you can almost never have enough garlic. So that's what that is. Now this bed in particular, I only want to use that for garlic, right? So because you planted it in October and it doesn't come out of the ground until July, that's a long time to take up space. So I designated this particular area just for garlic. I will let that ground rest. I could plant some short-lived crops in there, but I think I'm just going to let that rest from, mid-July to October, and so it'll be ready for the next planting. So here we have our strawberry bed. I did plant these, oh gosh, late summer, early fall last year, and you can see they fared pretty well. I did not cover them with hay or anything. I intended to, but I just didn't do it. But they really came up. I see a couple spotty areas here. My daughter did order some plants for herself, and I had her order me a couple also so that I would be able to fill in those areas. As far as one of the top sprayed items with pesticides, strawberries and berries in general are it. So I reluctantly buy organic strawberries, but it's not my favorite thing, so of course we're growing our own. But really excited about what this is going to do, because these will come back every year. You may have to replace a plant or two, but that's okay. You can see the dirt has settled, so once these have bloomed, I will add more soil to this bed. So these are my metal raised beds. I started with these last year. I started with just these four over here, and then I just added these four here. I ordered them off of Amazon. Very easy to put together. I put them together myself sitting in my living room over the winter. This will probably be, I'm guessing, I feel like I'm going to do all my peppers here. I did have an eggplant that did amazing in one of these raised beds last year, and I feel like so I don't jinx myself, I feel like I'm going to go ahead and put it there again. But I'm hoping to do my peppers here, just because peppers are one of the things that we enjoy growing the most. We use them a lot. Of course, we eat them raw, we eat them cooked. I make sauce out of them, I dry them, I dehydrate them, I make powders out of them. We really do use a lot of peppers, so these are gonna probably be grown in here. Plus, we enjoy growing them. They're just fun to grow, I think. So yeah, and then I will also, like I said earlier, something that I like to do is I like to mingle my herbs and flowers in with my, companion planting in there with them, because I feel like it adds it's more fun, right? I like to have herbs. I feel like you can't have enough herbs sometimes, so I like to put basil in little spots. I'm always like, oh, here's a spot. I propagate herbs all summer long, and as I get them and they have roots, I pop them in the ground, and then I get another plant out of it. Also I feel like it adds a diversity to the environment and the soil. It does, like I said, it really gives you a diverse soil, different nutrients that you're putting into it and different nutrients that you're taking out of it, which is healthy. We don't use any kind of spray at all. We just don't, but I don't believe in it. I would rather not have any kind of, in addition to the chemical part of it, even though there are things that I've heard are healthier or safe, FDA approved or what have you, I don't want to interfere with the process of the environment. I don't want to interrupt the cycle of life, if I can help it. So I know there are beneficial pests, there are also harmful pests, and one provides food for the other. So I really like to increase just the diversity of the insects, the pollinators, what's growing in my garden. I really, that's important to me. That's one thing that I committed to when I started this journey. I know there are people that use lots of chemicals and sprays, and no, it's not for me. I just don't want to do it. So no judgment about that, but if I'm eating it, then that's my choice. So like I said, so by increasing the diversity of the plants and the insects that you draw into your space, it just is helpful for your soil, and in my opinion, helpful for your body. So but anyway, that's just a little tiny thing. But yeah, so this is going to be herbs, and then some intermittent, some companion planting, and not herbs, peppers, and then of course, like I said, probably my eggplant, and different flowers and herbs will go in there as well. So if you look here, you'll see that this is where our raised bed used to be. So when we moved here last year, we only put one wooden raised bed in because, like I said, that's all we had the time for. And we did a good job. We were pretty pleased with what came off of it. But one of our longer term goals was to have chickens. So this, my friends, is where our chicken coop is going to be. My husband is going to build it. Our chickens are coming next week, so you can see where we're at. But he has a saying, don't worry about the horse being blind, just load the wagon. Well, in this case, don't worry about the coop being built, just order the chicken. So I have some chicken math, hello, chickens, so baby chicks are coming next week. I might get a couple this week from a local place, but that's our plan. So this is where chickens are going to be, the chicken coop. I did want it further up here, closer to the house, for predator's sake, and also just for ease of taking care of them and checking on them and that sort of thing. So stay tuned, more about that later. This really is a dream come true for us. When we first started dating, I guess it's been, we've been together almost 11 years or so. We had no idea that we were going to this wasn't our thing, but we slowly got into it. I think we did our first garden in maybe 2015, maybe. We were accidentally successful, which is, that was pretty cool. And then we didn't do it again for a couple of years. And then I guess 2020, I planted a couple pepper plants. He loves hot peppers, so I planted a couple pepper plants in the effort to make him homemade sauce. Again, I was accidentally successful, so we just kept going from there. Another raised bed, order some seeds, more raised beds, a trellis. Next thing you know, a new piece of property. So we're pretty excited about it. I love it. He loves it. I have noticed that it's been really good for us for a couple of reasons. From the health factor, the benefits have been immeasurable. The effect, the change in our physical health, our mental health, and it's just perpetuated us down a path that we probably wouldn't be on if we, looking back at where we started, like I said, almost 11 years ago. So it's been pretty cool. So this is the bigger project out of what we're doing. Most of what everything that we were growing food on was inside the interior part of our property. There was a fenced in area. What we are doing this year is we're taking that fence down, expanding it. We're calling it Songbird Expansion 2.0. So that's what we've been working on now, is the expansion part. So you'll see the first bed we did was here. I think that's 16 feet, 17 feet by 3.5. We did this guy yesterday. So this is a trellis. I don't know if you've seen that. So a little more work than it looks like. We definitely worked for a good bit of the day yesterday on it. We do lay cardboard down, and then I have fabric in that bed there just because it's, you have to put some down for the weeds in it. Like I said, I don't like to spray We do have our compost right here, and then this is our little asparagus that's that we'll see what happens, right? But yeah, so we're gonna put a bunch of more beds back here. We will eventually, we're gonna close this tree is our property at edge of our line, and it goes to the trees and over. But yeah, we're gonna put some more beds in. You know, we have a lot of plans for back here. Really excited. We had to get dirt. I'm gonna have someone bring some dirt in. You know, I gotta find a place that has decent soil, because that, of course, that's important. But yeah, so we're gonna put a couple more beds in here. We want to have, you know, have a melon bed in the back where we only have melons growing because they can grow so crazy. But that's, you know, all things that are on my list of things to do. What else? Corn. We want to grow corn in the back, you know, but we do. I'm thinking there's a lot of deer in the area, so we do want to put up a 6-foot fence. But again, my husband's like, don't worry about the horse being blind, just load the wagon. So Kimberly's loading the wagon, or filling the space one bed at a time. So yeah, so really excited. Like I said, the chicken coop and the expansion in the back here are what I'm most excited about. They're our 2 biggest projects. So let's see and take a better look at these. So this bed already has its dirt now. My husband, like I said, this is the bed that was where the chicken coop is gonna be. This is the bed that we moved. So the bricks, no big deal. The wood, no big deal. The dirt, my husband literally shoveled all the dirt into a wheelbarrow, and 1 wheelbarrow at a time, he brought all this dirt over. Now we are gonna supplement or fill in because it is kind of low in a couple areas, but these bricks are great. They're about $3.68, I think, a piece. These were from Home Depot. But we had those already at our old place. These are from Lowe's. They're round. I prefer the square bricks, just a side note, because I can get my hand around and carry 1 brick in each hand on the square corner. I can pick one up with each hand. This, my fingers won't fit really like around this to carry it. It's just too difficult. So I prefer the square ones, but that's just me. But yeah, so we did miscount, so I do need to get a second layer of these, you know, and then dirt. And then, like I said, we're gonna put this whole thing in. So really lovely space. We're really pleased with it. So that's the garden as it is right now. Like I said, we have a lot of things coming up. The chickens, of course, the expansion in the back here. I'm really excited. I've been waiting for spring to get here and for the weather to change. We did have a lot of rain. Oh gosh, last week it rained. It just dumped and rained and rained and rained. So today, actually over the weekend, we had a couple of nice days. I do work a full-time job outside of all of this, you know, which is interesting. I have to prioritize. And I've talked about that in other videos where you know, for me, what works is doing a little bit at a time. Like when we moved this bed right here, one day we moved the bricks and the wood. The next, or a different day, my husband wheelbarrowed all the dirt over. Yesterday, we took down the trellis and the T-posts, you know, so, and we raked that space out. So it really is a matter of prioritizing. When I don't really have time in the morning because it's the time in the morning that I leave, but when I come home, I hit the ground running, and I spend 3, 4, 5, well, no, maybe not 5 hours, but 3 or 4 hours out here, you know, doing everything I need to do. I have lists, I check them off, I'm very organized about it. I, you know, just try to prioritize and do a little bit every single day, and it really does help to be able to get all this done. But again, I'm really excited. The chickens, like I said, it's something I've wanted for a couple years. We could have gotten them at our old place, but just, you know, sometimes the timing is everything. You know, you have to wait until you're right. And I don't like to rush things. I do like to do my research and, you know as much as I can about something before I jump in. I am the kind of person where I will just jump into something and figure it out as I go. But something like, you know, chickens, you know, something I'm responsible for the life of that. I want to be the best chicken mom I can, and I don't want to, you know, go into this not knowing about things that are important, they're going to be good for them. So that's something that I felt like it was a good idea to just kind of wait until we were ready, till we had the right space and the time and the wherewithal to take care of them. So that's, now's the time. It's time. So I've definitely waited. Definitely, I don't want to say paid my dues, because sometimes you can wait for something and it might never happen. But for us, this is the time. The time is now. So yeah, really excited about the chickens. I did tell my grandson one of them's going to be his. He's going to name it. I'm not sure. That'll be another video once the chickens come. We're just really excited. It'll be really a fun thing to do. Like I said, it's just because we've been waiting so long, and we're not jumping into this spontaneously. It is something that we've thought about and made sure that the decision was right for us. So yeah, so between that and, like I said, the expansion on the back, we're definitely going to be busy this year. So look forward to producing a lot of content. Just looking forward to I'm very optimistic about this upcoming season, especially with the move last year. We just didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do, which was okay because we still had plenty to do with the move and getting everything set up. And again, like I said, we were very successful, but I'm looking forward to continued success this year. So again, I am Kimberly. Thank you for stopping by Songbird Homestead. I look forward to speaking with you again soon.